everyone, so today I want to talk to you about the importance of routine for our mental health and well-being. So in our fast-paced, chaotic and busy lives that many of us lead, routine can provide us with structure, stability, a bit more of a sense of control, all of which are really important for our mental health and well-being. So first and foremost, routine provides us with a sense of predictability, which can produce anxiety and stress. So our brain cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. So what this means is that if we wake up in the morning and we think about all the things we've got to do that day, or the things that we've got to squeeze in, fit in, work around, our brain will automatically think, oh my God, I've got so much to do. It's all going to go wrong. How am I going to be able to do it? I'm going to be really busy. And automatically that creates anxiety and stress before we've even got to that situation. Whereas if we have a little bit more structure and routine, so if we plan our morning so we have a little bit more routine, so we know what we're doing when we get up, if we plan our day so we have a little bit more routine, what this means is that our brain then thinks about how we want the day to go, how what we have planned in for the day, knowing what is coming up next, and we think about those things and we think, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And because we've got it planned and we know that routine, then we are much more likely to feel calm and in control about it. Whereas if we have all of these things floating around our head that we've got to do, we just feel really anxious and stressed. We don't know where to start with those things, and therefore we end up procrastinating more. So the predictability of routine for our brain is really good. Our brain likes consistency, it likes routine, it likes to know what's coming next. Brains do not like uncertainty. So any uncertainty to our brain is threat. It thinks that something bad is going to happen, and therefore it creates more anxiety and stress. So having a routine, particularly in the morning, can set a positive tone for the day. It's comforting to your brain, and it will actually enhance your productivity and focus. So one thing that you can do the night before is just write down how you want your day to go. So a little bit of like a time block. Okay, so I'm going to wake up at this time. First thing you're going to do, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, and just plan it out. Obviously, you know, things happen and it doesn't have to go exactly to plan. But if you plan it out the night before, you are much more likely to have a restful night's sleep as well, because you're not thinking about, oh God, I've got to fit all of this in the next day. You've got a little bit more routine. If you're planning things in at the same time every day, so for example, if you wake up and you do your exercise, or if you wake up and the first thing you do is have a shower, the brain then forms that habit, and it doesn't need to think about it because it becomes such a subconscious habit, such a subconscious part of your routine, that it uses less what we call cognitive energy, which in turn reduces anxiety and stress levels. So forming habits as part of our routine and things that we stick to can be particularly helpful as well. So we want to promote those healthy habits by building them into our day. Now, what we have to remember when we are forming new routines is it's not easy to do it at first, but we have to think about the long-term benefit of starting to form those habits. So something I've spoken about a little bit before, so those pathways in the snow. Some of you remember that if you are forming a new routine, you've got those old routines, those old habits, those old pathways, and it's really easy to get down them, but they may not be particularly helpful. The new habit and new routines that we're trying to form is the fresh snow. So if we want to start forming those new habits and routines, we have to form those footprints in the snow, and it's really uncomfortable to do it at first, but the more and more we do it, the easier it becomes. So just think about how you want your day to look. Like, what would be the first thing that you would want to be getting up and doing? What would be the first thing that would be a really good start to your day, a really good part of your routine? And then start to build it in slowly. So a few times a week you get up and you do that exercise, or you do that meditation, or you do that yoga, whatever it is. Build it into your routine. Give your brain a bit of certainty, and remember that your brain won't like the uncertainty. So routine is really good for your day. It can also help us to manage our time more effectively. Like I've said, if we've got all of those things running around our head, if we do live busy and chaotic lives, which most of us do, it can help us to know where we're at. It can help us to also spread out our time and manage our time better between social activities, between work activities, between things for ourselves, and get a little bit more of a good balance of overall well-being and enjoyment, which is really important for anxiety and stress levels. If we are solely focusing all our energy on work, if we are solely focusing all our energy on other people, we're not getting that overall balance and well-being, which is really important for all our health, our mental well-being. We refer to it as our 4 Ps, so our positive actions, our positive interactions, our positive thoughts, and our positive purpose. When we've got all of those in different ways and they're balanced out, we produce a nice, good, consistent flow of all of the good neurotransmitters that we need in our brain. If we don't have them and we're just concentrating our energy on one thing, then we produce more anxiety and stress. So having a routine of, on a particular day, you do something, you have that as your social evening, whatever it is really good for helping to have that spread across the week. Routines help us to implement discipline and resilience into our life as well. So life is unpredictable, we face challenges. When we do face those challenges, having something that is certain in our lives, having that routine to help us along can be really good for us as well. So imagine something bad happens and you don't have any routine and your life is chaotic as it is, and then that one bad thing happens, everything is all over the place. If you already have a bit of routine, it can help your brain just to cope and manage those harder things much better. So overall, routine is really good for us to have. The brain doesn't like any uncertainty, it likes certainty, can help us to manage our time better, help us to be more productive, more focused. Main tips for creating a routine: so night before, think about how your day is going to go, look at your overall week, think about how you're going to spread that balance across the week, block out particular days and times to do things in your diary. So time blocking is really important. If we wait for time to come to us to do stuff and to do the things that are important, it's not going to happen. We have to make the time to do it and plan it in and then stick to it, and overall we can build those habits and routines into our lives.